It's the NFL on EA Sports as we are in the inner harbor of Baltimore at M&T Bank Stadium. The two teams emerging from their respective tunnels a minute ago to the approval of this Baltimore crowd. They're all set as their Ravens will match up with the New Orleans Saints. Justin Tucker set to boom this one away. And off we go from M&T Bank Stadium. Throwing on first down is Breeze. He hits his target, left side, Watson. Now a loose football. The ball comes out, and it's picked up by the Ravens.
To put it mildly, that is not the way anyone wants to start off a game. You fumble on your first offensive snap. But now what you're worried about is, does that linger throughout the game for your guys on offense? And how's the defense going to handle it? Because no one expects to run out on the field on the first play and have to all of a sudden start to play themselves.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. A first carry now for Alex Collins. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5. On 2nd down, Jackson flushed out right. 12 yards the pickup there. Good for a Raven first.
Well, that was man coverage. So once he decides to run with the football, there's no one to account for him, and he turns it into a nice gain.
First red zone chance now for the Ravens. They've got a 1st and 10 at the 15. From the gun, Jackson. Escaping the pressure right. He'll get 10 there all on his own, but it'll be 2nd down.
I think the last 2 plays really illustrate how difficult it is to game plan against this guy because you know he can throw the football, but how about his use of legs as well, what we call those broken plays? You can't account for them.
Yeah, those plays, those 2 that you just mentioned, a microcosm really of how he can hurt you. And now Jackson will look to throw it. The quick slant caught. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. They give him 2 yards there as they're set up now with a 1st and goal.
And the tight end is certainly a position built to move the chains because they can control space underneath. If they've got good hands, then, of course, they're a dynamic target. But one other thing is they're right in the sight lines of a quarterback on just about every play. And that makes it easier for the quarterback to pick him out and deliver.
Trying to punch it in with Collins. And he'll get in. Touchdown, Baltimore. Alex Collins, a 3-yard touchdown run. And the Ravens have taken the early lead. Justin Tucker for the extra point. Tucker able to connect on the extra point. And that makes the score 7-0. Here's Tucker now out to kick this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Now the Saints, they trot their offense out here. And last time, not only the turnover, but that turned into 6 points. They got to make up for that here.
We always hear about empty possessions, but some are worse than others. You can have an empty possession, punt the ball away, get yourself set to play defense, but when you turn it over, it changes momentum, and when they take it downfield and punch it in on you, that's a bad possession all the way around.
Yeah, but you're hungry to get back out there, aren't you?
You better be, because otherwise it's going to be a long day for you.
And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It'll be a loss of 1, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Now Breeze throwing on 2nd down. Out to the flat. That's complete to his running back. It'll be a gain of 4, and that'll bring up a 3rd down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
Now Breeze on 3rd down. Flush to his right. And that is incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
Now a late flag comes in as they got him down via the face mask, and that'll give him even better starting position. Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post, because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
All right, here we go. Green, 39. Green, 39. Leopard, Leopard.
Now Collins. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 47. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Now Jackson on 2nd down. Finding room inside the 40. It's brought in here by Willie Snead. A big play that time for the Ravens. And even 50 yards.
Similar to a slant, it's all about timing when you're throwing a crossing route. Quarterback and receiver have to be in sync, and when they put it on them just right and catch it full speed, running through a defense can often result in a big pickup of yardage.
On 1st and goal, Collins. And just a short gain that time as they're able to get him down. He'll get 2 out of that run, and it's going to bring up a 2nd and goal.
Well, the spotlight hit him once already tonight as he got into the end zone. He was trying to make it a double spotlight, wasn't he?
But credit the defense, bottling him up, not letting him get in for the 2nd score there.
Over.
They'll go with the keeper. And he will take it in for a Ravens touchdown. Lamar Jackson taking it in. And the Ravens will extend their lead.
And the sneak works on 2nd and goal. They didn't wait until it was 4th down to try and get him across.
No, and I think if you're the QB, you like these plays, don't you? I mean, you want to hand it off sometimes, but also prove that you can get it in there as well.
Yeah, it makes you really part of the gang, doesn't it? It makes you part of the crew, and it really bonds you with those big offensive linemen because then you get to celebrate with the big fellas.
Extra point, hugged the upright a bit, but he gets it to go. And that'll make the score 14-0. Here's Tucker now out to kick this one away. Back out onto the field now comes the New Orleans offense. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. 10 yards there to start the drive, and just enough by about the length of the football for a first down.
Trip is here, baby. Trip is here. Here we go.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Breeze now on 1st down. Finds his man, Watson, over the middle. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's Saints football to begin quarter number 2. They're looking at a 2nd and short yardage to start things out.
Set.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And not much there at all. Maybe a yard up to the 43.
And this is why aggressive defensive coordinators love to blitz. It wreaks havoc because they end up taking their attention to the blitzers, freed up the D lineman to make the play.
And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively. They go with a fullback line. And he's got a first down as he's up to the 48. It's a gain of 4 there, and it gives him a new set of downs.
Football's such a game of tendencies, down and distance, and on 3rd and inches, 3rd and 1, you think, yeah, the fullback's probably going to get the ball, but when you get to 3rd and 2, most of the time that's either the running back or a pass play. So that's a nice tendency breaker by the offensive team there. Hand it to their big guy to pick up a first down.
On 2nd down, Kamara. Looking for a cutback lane, but nothing there as he's met at the line of scrimmage. The former Charger All-Pro, Eric Weddle, on the stop.
No gain on that run, and while this team is down, they're not out of it by any stretch of the imagination. Maybe you just have to think about different style of running in order to get this guy going.
On 3rd down, here's Kamara. And he's going to be met at about the 43. It's a pickup of 3, but it brings up what will be an interesting 4th and 1.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. And now whistles and a flag, and I think we got a jump here. So a jump there defensively.
And it's a killer. Watch the football. Don't move across the line of scrimmage until the ball moves.
So 1st and 10 after a big mistake on 4th down with a penalty. Now contact up front as penalty markers come in. Who is this against? So they jumped on the left side of that line.
And you know when you're at the end spot, you are like in the starting blocks, waiting for the pistol to fire and go, and he jumped a little bit too early.
So a 1st and 5 now after the 5-yard penalty from the neutral zone infraction. Now flags will come in. And I think this is against the Saints up front. And the offensive penalty has us back where we started as they come up on a 1st and 10. Following the penalty, it's Kamara. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be second down.
Well, to me, that's taking a big gamble defensively because that alignment you see, that's normally something you see down near the goal line. Because now, if they decide to go play action, something should be open there, and I think open big.
So maybe that's something that gets filed away for later.
I think without a doubt, you write it down, and if you see that look at a later date, go ahead and take your shot.
Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Watson. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a third down.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
The Saints on third down, just 1 for 3 thus far. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation. Movement there on the offensive line, a little quick, and a 5-yard penalty. And that'll be accepted, of course, and that moves him back 5. Well, that's a tough, costly penalty because now it makes it 3rd and 6 after the false start. Shotgun now for Breeze. And it falls incomplete after almost being intercepted. A pick there would have been great. The good news for the defense now, it's 4th down. On 4th down, off goes Drew Brees, and on comes the Saints kicker, Will Lutz, for the field goal attempt. On the left hash, officially, it's called a 51-yard attempt. Now, that's something of a pick-me-up. The offense certainly has struggled, but they do get the field goal before half to put 3 on the board.
Yeah, you don't want to be shut out, but let's face it, those 3 points, that's not going to solve all their problems either.
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Here comes the Raven offense now, ready for another possession. And right now they're saying, hey, let's keep this going. 2 drives, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, can't ask for a better start than that, can you? I mean, this is the way you practice it. This is the way you rehearse it. But right now, the play calling, they're locked in really well.
To throw is Jackson. Drops it underneath for Collins. And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask. So the face mask, quite a blessing there as they'll start out of harm's way with a 1st and 10. From the gun, it's Jackson. Steps away to his left. Wide open receiver complete. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. 1:57 to go in this first half. We're back to Baltimore after this. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, it's Jackson. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 41. It's a loss of 4 there, bringing up 2nd down.
You know what the key to a good screen pass is, don't you?
Bet you're going to tell me. Good blocking?
Well, good blocking eventually. But first is good acting. You want to let the defenders go past you, leak out to whichever side or even in the middle where you want to set up the screen, and then you do your blocking. How about the read, though, by the defensive guys? They weren't fooled at all and actually ran with the lineman to where the play was and smothered it for a loss of yardage.
On 2nd down, here's Jackson, forced out to his left. And he gets it down to the 32. It's a gain of 9 yards. And all of a sudden here, it's 3rd down. So 3rd and 5, defensively expecting pass. They've got 6 DBs out there. Jackson from the shotgun. He's going to dump that off to his running back, Montgomery. And he's able to pick up the first down here before he goes down at the 26. It'll go as a gain of 6 that time, and it moves the chains as well. Throwing now, Jackson on first down. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense, as it'll come with 15 seconds to play in the first half. Now following the sack, they'll come up here on a 2nd down and 12. And now the Saints are going to take a timeout on defense, as it'll come with 15 seconds to play in the first half. They'll come up after the sack on a 2nd and 12. Operating from the gun, Jackson being chased out left. He's going to take, got a man, it's caught for a Ravens touchdown. Chris Moore in the final seconds of the first half, and the Ravens will add on to their lead.
And that's a lead that excites a team as they head into the half. Good way to finish things off.
Yeah, able to extend that lead, and you always say it, that can totally change the complexion of half number 2.
Yeah, it changes your morale, changes your outlook. But even before that, let's see if they decide to kind of squib kick or what they're going to do on the kickoff, because you don't want to give up a big play right before the half ends.
Good point. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll wind up getting an extra couple yards here for his trouble, as he'll bring this one out to the 27. The Saints offense now, they get ready to head back onto the field. And from this spot in the field with the clock where it's at, you think we're just going to see a knee and that's it?
And I think in this situation, that's the proper play. But we do know there's some risk takers out there that may want to take one more shot before the clock runs out.
Not much room here as he only gets it to about the 30. First half in the books. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. The Ravens ready to receive it, and they've got the lead as well as we resume play in the second half. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And good starting field position. He'll get this one all the way up to about the 35-yard line. Out come the Ravens now. They'll go on offense first here in this third quarter. They built a good first-half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spend the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. And able to use his blockers to get this up over the 40.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
Watch it now, Barney! Barney! Over! 47 Mike! 47 Mike! Mike, 47!
And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. They get 5 out of that one, and it moves the chains.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball, protect this lead, give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them.
Over!
Here's a first down run with Collins. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down. And he had a nice play there from his free safety position to hold him to nothing.
And, Brandon, remember when the free safety was always back away from the line of scrimmage?
That's changed.
Has that changed in a big way? The way we see it now, they're almost mirrors between the free safety and the strong safety. One will be up, one will be back, or sometimes both will be in the same spot. On that play, the free safety was there, no gain.
Second down, Montgomery. And they see right through that defensively as he'll be hit and taken down to the backfield. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And it's going to be third down and a ways to go here. 3rd and 14. To throw is Jackson. From the gun, he'll throw. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. On is the punter, Cook, who sends it away. And that one hits a little too close to the goal line, and it continues into the end zone for a touchback. Now the attention turns to the Saints offense getting ready for their first possession of the second half. They were able to get the stop defensively. Now a chance to turn that into points on the offensive end.
Can you imagine what the grease board looks like at the half? Because
tell me.
That's exactly what they printed up. Stop them on defense, get the ball back for our offense, and go downfield and score some points. Now, the last part remains to be seen, but they got the first part done very well.
Do people use grease boards, or you mean the magic marker boards?
Yeah, those two.
They'll try again from the 20 on 2nd and 10. Back to the air on 2nd down. It's Breeze. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by Terrell Suggs. And they're going to be set up in the red zone at the 15. That interception sets them up beautifully already in the red zone.
And you can hear it all the way up here. Oski, everyone turned to block, find the spot. And now they're set up inside the red zone for their offense.
And he takes us down to about the 12 for a gain of 3. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
Jackson looking to throw on 2nd down. That's going to be caught at the 10-yard line. And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. First target, first catch, and a first down.
Watch it now, Barney!
They come out here in the eye.
Watch it now, Barney!
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he'll get in. Touchdown, Baltimore. A great effort there. A 3-yard touchdown run. And the Ravens have used the short field to their advantage as they cash in for 6. Tucker with the extra point, and they open the lead up now to 25. Here's Tucker now out to kick this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the inline. The Saints coming out now to take the field. They have been struggling. I would imagine at halftime they went through some possible changes. Well, those changes aren't working, so now where do you go?
I think that now it's much more in their head. And what I mean by that is just what you said. You've gone over the changes. I bet they were pretty clinical at the half, not too emotional. They might need to go to the emotional side because you've got to find something, some spark somewhere. And so far, just being calm hasn't exactly worked.
They need any spark at this point. Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28.
Ready. We're waiting.
Breeze to throw on 2nd down. Throw left side complete. It's Watson. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. His 5th catch tonight, and it's good for a 1st down. The start for them near flawless. Defense gets them a 3 and out. 2 quick pass connections on offense.
So that's how a team works together. Just what you described. Give them the ball, give them a little momentum, and they're capitalizing off of that. Thanks a lot, guys.
And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the 1st down completion.
He wasn't ready.
Again, they'll throw with Breeze. Going up top. Trying to get it to Thomas, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Tony Jefferson. And it's a big turnover there on the final play of the quarter. Back now in Baltimore. A lot of happy faces in the crowd at this point as their guys have a big lead here to start quarter number 4.